Howdy folks. So we're out here today. We're making up a second chicken waterer. So we already cut the hole. I forgot to film that, sorry. But we cut the hole and we put our horse heater in there for a trough heater. So we got that suspended about 2 inches off of the bottom, and we added one water nipple on here. So what we're using is this step bit on that second step only, and then the back of that nipple threads into the PVC barrel. Pretty simple. Alright, so sorry for the leaf blower in the background. My neighbors decide to show up once a year to help out their father. So, let's see. Let's get a second one in here. So I'm gonna clock this 45. All right. So you got to be careful you don't push too hard and go through too far. Yo, one of you guys hold this thing so it don't slide. Got it? Yep. Okay, step 2. All right. Let's put it down so it don't fall. So let's get a close-up of this for the people. So there's the hole, and I just want to show you that the back of this is threaded. So we're just going to thread that right in. We're going to start it straight. You'll be able to do a little bit by hand, and I'm not left-handed here. And I'll go in a little bit as far as I can, then I'll switch to the wrench. All right, here we go. And this ain't necessarily a how-to, this is just what we do. We got a task at hand, we got to get it done. It's not like I build these things all the time. But every time I build one, I make improvements. Anytime I build anything and I go to build the next one, you make improvements. We move forward in life, we don't go backwards. You don't want to overspin this, you got to be careful. I'm pretty close to doing that. I'm gonna this is gonna be it right here. I'm gonna get this at 12 o'clock. So you got this little lipper here, so the water actually gets on that, believe it or not, and the chickens are able to kind of scrape it off of there. So that's the second one. I just got to figure out where our third one's going to go. So we got this orientated for our, if you go back in our videos, we rebuilt our chicken feeder and waterer. We added the waterer in there when this was standalone outside before, but just to protect it from the snow and everything and leaves and debris from getting in here, we moved it underneath that little building, or whatever you want to call it. So the old waterer had about 6 of these nipples. This one we're only going to do 3, I believe. So I guess we'll go see how this thing fits in there real quick. And we're either going to add one over here, or maybe a little bit closer to this one we'll add one in the front. We'll see how it sits. All right, so we're in the coop. We're just going to see how this thing orientates. The cord, yeah, put it right in position. Let's get a look at it. All right, so we could turn that nipple, there you go. So we could put another one Yeah, in that corner, and we can actually put one right here to the left a little bit.
Yeah.
About 4 in between that 4 and the square right there. So we'll add 2 more. You think 4 chickens can water at the same time?
Yeah, and do it on the other one.
All right.
Big crap on the bottom end.
Doesn't matter. Put it on there. We'll clean the table after. All right, so we got to add 2 more. So one where? Right in between?
I would say yeah, in the middle.
So right in between there, and we're gonna do one right here.
Yeah.
So we'll try and space them apart. All right, so we'll go hold pressure on the back. Okay, so we got to be very, very careful because it's easy to, once you push through, it's easy to go too far. So, well, let me grab one already. Okay. So now if for some reason these start leaking, ever, you can back them out and you could use some kind of fish tank silicone on them or even a JB Weld, something like that. Will keep them from leaking. So now we took the other waterer out today because that had a lot of buildup inside, algae. So we put a little bleach in there. Oh, I might have to clean this hole slightly. Let's see. Did I not quite get in there? Let's see. There we go. Just that very slight little lip in there was keeping me from getting it started. So now these are only plastic. It's plastic on plastic, so you don't want to force this by no means because you're dealing with the bottom of the barrel, no pun intended. So you need to, you know, if you make a mistake here, then you got a leaky barrel. And again, just going easy, and I'm watching the thread and the spacing between the red and the white here. So actually I'm gonna leave it right there. All right, so if you look at it, you can see a little bit of space between the red and the white. I'm not really going any further because I do not want to strip this. Okay, so let's get our last one in. Excuse me. All right, let's get our last one in. Now I'm not measuring anything. We're kind of eyeballing it. We're using the ichrometer. My ichrometer has been pretty right on. It's always calibrated. See how close that was. Giving you a little close-up on this one. All right. This one started a smidge easier. This one's fighting me a little bit. All right, so that's the finished product at the moment. It's not perfect, but it actually came out pretty nice. Now, one more thing, we got to add a drain on here. So now we're going to add one of these in on the bottom. So I'm going to go slightly higher, because even if we drain it out only to here, we could still move this thing with that amount of water in there. So now I put a mark on here. That's the last step that's actually going to go in, and then we're going to check the size. So now I'm thinking it's still going to be a little small, which it is, because we got a rubber gasket. So I could either go to the very next size or use a different step bit. You know what, we'll use this one. Might just use this whole thing. Oh, we're pretty close. Yeah, this will be all right. So this has a nut on the inside, which will compress the two rubber washers. All right, it's going to be sweet. Okay, so now we got to reach inside here, and that's what I'm going to make these kids do as a punishment for something they probably did when I wasn't looking. All right, so turn this thing sideways and try and reach in there, get it in a position.
Jake, go hold it on the other side so it's not sliding.
Teamwork. Can you reach down there with them scrawny little arms of yours?
Reach it.
And that, by putting it up higher on the barrel, makes it easier to reach as well. I learned my lesson with my little T-Rex arms, that if I put things down too low and too big a barrel, that I can't reach it. Is it on there right now?
Yeah. You want me to tighten it?
Yep, tighten it up. Perfect time for me to sip some coffee. So what we're gonna have to do also is I'm gonna have to go down to Lowe's or Home Depot, either one, and get some PVC with some elbows, and we're gonna make this so we can just top it off through the winter with gallon jugs of water. So it gets kind of tough filling this thing with the hose, because once everything freezes, I can't hook the garden hose up to the house. It's just not going to work. So we need a means of filling this easier now that we rebuilt the housing that it's going to go into. Whereas before it was exposed, we could just fill it right from the top. All right, so that's the semi-finished product right now. We need to go get some PVC to finish it. So this here is our old one that we took out. So right now you can see the algae buildup in there. So a couple times a year we pull it out like this and we fill it with water, which it's full right now, and we add a little bit of bleach in there. And that bleach overnight will eat up all that algae. This thing will be pure clean inside there by tomorrow morning. So we'll keep this as a spare, and you know, if we need to switch it out over the winter or something like that, or add a second coop, whatever, we'll be able to do that. All right, so here's what we ended up with, and it works really well. It's just a simple piece of PVC. I had all this 1/2-inch PVC here at the house from my raised beds, so I had to just pick up a few elbows. So I got about a 6-inch piece going down into the water barrel, and one elbow coming out of there to this elbow that you could see. Up this, I kept this on a nice pitch, and then we just got this 1/2 inch to 1 inch adapter elbow. That's the only one I could find. I was trying to get a bigger one, and then I went up to a 1 1/4 and a 1 1/2 inch. This is just a loose cap, and just to keep debris out of there. So now in the winter time, instead of trying to get the hose or, you know, trying to fill this thing in an awkward way, we could just take a gallon jug every now and then and just pour it down in here, and you know, it'll stay full as long as we stay on top of it. But as you can see, the chickens are thirsty because we had them away from the waterer today, just because. So you can see they go right after the nipples. For some reason they like red, so they peck at it a little more often. So but it's working good. They're all drinking. Hopefully they got enough water for before they go to bed tonight. Thanks for watching.